Hello everyone, I am Mathias Wolfbrok, founder and head TO of WolfTV, here with an update about the future of WolfTV, as well as my future plans as a TO, caster and content creator overall. There's a lot to talk about, so let's just get to it. When I started WolfTV about 4 years ago, we were in the middle of a global pandemic which forced us all to stay at home. Unfortunately, that meant that most of the fighting game events we've come to know and love, along with the arcade culture around them, just disappeared overnight. And the competitive online infrastructure we take for granted today just didn't exist, with most games making us spend more time fighting with the game itself to make it work online rather than fighting other players in the game. I was personally in quite a bad spot at the time. During the first lockdown, I was stuck in a small apartment alone with nothing to do. It was tough to say the least. Around that time, Blair approached me to set up a Samurai Showdown tournament on the Nintendo Switch, as that release was pretty fresh at the time. It did not materialize, but the idea still stayed in the back of my mind for a bit. Eventually, in September 2020, I went for it. I ran a first tournament called Blame It on the Netcode, which quickly became the battle for the den you know and love today. The idea was simple. I wanted to do something different and showcase games which didn't get the limelight too often, and essentially make the best out of a bad situation. I wanted people to have fun. Fast forward to today, I've continued to push for that same philosophy again and again at WolfTV, either through some more open free play sessions, like the Playing Grounds, experimental formats like from Pack to Pack, or just the core idea of Battle for the Den. Over the course of the last 4 years, I've been very fortunate to have fostered this small community and to have been able to showcase so many different games, from Guilty Gear Strive to Idle Showdown, The King of Fighters 15 to Breaker's Revenge, Them's Fighting Herds to Real About Fatal Fury 2, as well as the varied talent of the EUMENA community and beyond. I've even had the chance to bring WolfTV into bigger events such as Vortex Gallery, the Dynamite World Tour and Ultimate Burst, and even managed to host my own World Cup with the Arms Territorial League. But things are also different nowadays. Offline events have come back, and I've been trying to travel to as many of them as I can. Online tournaments have also caught up with offline in many regards, with a lot more games than before having a playable online mode, boosting rollback netcode and crossplay, and there has never been as many online tournaments as today. Even small games like Breaker's Revenge and Vampire Savior and Street Fighter Alpha 3 have been thriving thanks to passionate and dedicated TOs and streamers doing monthly if not weekly events on these games. As for myself, I've been trying to improve my commentary skills as much as I can, and I've managed to get several opportunities, most notably as part of the Rivals Championship series, and even recasting events in French such as Combo Breaker and Genesis and Heatwave. I've also gotten a proper social life back and a nice job, and I want to do more varied stuff overall. And that's also on top of other things that I'm still doing from time to time for the FGC. And yet I've managed to keep this whole WolfTV thing afloat for so long thanks to your support. And that means the world to me. With that said, I will be winding down operations on WolfTV. Season 5 will not be a thing in 2024. TOing, communicating events, and preparing high-quality streams takes a lot of time, and as it stands, time is a resource that I am lacking. Unfortunately, it is hard to justify putting said time into events, which in most cases bring in like 3 to 4 players, and often tend to be outright cancelled due to the lack of participants. I am grateful, of course, for the people who do enter, and I tend to think that we are having a good time together, but it just isn't worth the effort that I invest in these. Truth be told, I may be feeling burnt out on the whole WolfTV thing, and just like how I started WolfTV, I now want to do something new and different. So, what does that mean exactly? First off, the WolfTV brand isn't just going to disappear overnight, and I still want to use said brand for big events. Vortex Gallery is coming up, and I plan on hosting several events there, and I will use the WolfTV platform to stream said events with some high quality production value. I can't quite talk about what we're cooking there yet, but we are cooking. However, I will personally distance myself from the WolfTV brand. You may have noticed that I've already removed a lot of the WolfTV mentions from my personal social media, be it on Twitter, Blue Sky, FGC Network, or even YouTube and StartGG. I will also refocus on more casual content on my personal networks. For instance, I plan on streaming in English on Twitch again on my personal channel, twitch.tv/Mathias_Wolfbrok. The idea there would be to stream much more casually, while playing various games as I see fit, maybe do some let's plays and stuff like that. We'll see, just very casual stuff. Meanwhile, I want to refocus my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MathiasWolfbrok, on something I've really liked to do lately, and that is content in French for the French crowd. You may already have seen it with the various tourney restreams that I've done, but I kind of want to go a step further and start doing edited content in French, especially with Rivals 2 coming right around the corner. And finally, I want to branch out and partake in more events which aren't necessarily my own, be it like as a player, or as a TO, or especially as a caster. Again, the release of Rivals 2 and the fact that I'm more and more comfortable with Street Fighter 6 makes me more confident that I may be able to, get some gigs or just talk about the games a little more. Thank you so much, once again, for your continued support of WolfTV in the last 4 years. It means a lot to me, and I hope you've enjoyed your time spent as part of this community. We have 2 more events in the Battle for the Den series coming up, featuring Rivals 2 and Breaker's Revenge, which will serve as the send-off for Season 4, and after that I hope to see you again during my random Twitch streams, during Vortex Gallery, or even at a random FGC event like the mix-up Les Veaux Bordelais or UFA. And on that note, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.